Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Hope you guys are having an awesome start to your day. This crazy Tuesday morning. This weather has been awful wacky, hasn't it? Here on the East Coast, we have everything from 20 degrees to 60 degrees. It just doesn't make any sense. But hey, that's part of living on the East Coast, mid East Coast, I guess. So I hope you guys are doing great. I'm really sorry about the technical difficulties last week. We didn't have one of our traditional broadcasts on Thursday like I had planned because of some really crazy technical difficulties. So as you can imagine, we try to plan everything out and make sure that we come to you a couple of times a week with good information, but every once in a while things don't work like they're supposed to. So thanks for understanding, and thanks so much for tuning in. And if you are tuning in live, just say hey, let me know that you're on. I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. And if you're watching on the broadcast, let me know that as well on the replay. I know a lot of you can't tune in the morning when we're on, and I totally understand that. But we have a schedule so you guys know when we're going to be on, and so I try to stick to that pretty well. And I'm sorry we were off last week. So this week and this month, we've been talking about terms, things that may come up during a closing that you don't understand. There's so many things that happen, so many words that go on, so many things that you're trying to decipher and understand. And so this month, we're trying to talk to you about different terms that you may hear that maybe don't make sense. And so if there's some terms that you've heard that you don't understand, reach out to me and let me know, because if you don't understand or maybe have a question about something, more than likely somebody else does too. Hey there, Pam. How are you this morning? Good morning, Angela. Thank you guys for taking the time to tune in. I really appreciate it. So this morning I wanted to talk about the deed of trust, or the mortgage. About a week ago, we talked about a deed and what that actually means. And we today wanted to talk about the deed of trust. It also can be called a mortgage. And so I wanted to explain that for a minute, just so you understand what that term means. So when a lender loans you money, they need to make sure that their loan is secure, that they're going to get it back. And so because of that, we talked about last week the word collateral. And so they use things or documents or paperwork to secure that collateral, or make sure that their loan is taken care of and secured against something so they can get it paid back. So in this case, when you buy a house, there's a large amount of money, and they need to legally make sure that all the ducks are in a row, all the pieces are put together so that they can make sure that they get that money back. And the document you sign to ensure that they get that money back is called a deed of trust, or a mortgage. Typically, most mortgage companies use a deed of trust now instead of a mortgage. A deed of trust gives them a little bit more legal protection, but basically a deed of trust is you're putting your property in trust with the lender until you pay that loan back. So if you don't make the mortgage payments, they can start foreclosure on that property, and they can take over that property from you to try to prepare it and sell it to recuperate their loan amount. So there's some rules in the deed of trust about things you can and can't do to the property. It's pretty obvious. You can't mow down the house. You can't make massive changes that would be detrimental to the mortgage without the lender knowing about it. You can't change the ownership without the lender knowing about it, because all these things are things they approved to make sure that they wanted to loan you the money. And so they want to make sure that the thing that they're going to use to get that money back is still in the same condition. Both the ownership is in the same condition and the property's in the same condition when if they have to take it back over. The lender never wants to have to do that. And so there's a lot of latitude in these kind of things, but they need to make sure that that huge amount of money that they're loaning you will be returned one way or another. So they have you sign this document at your closing, and then we actually record that document in the land records with your deed that actually transfers the ownership to you. And the reason they record that document is because then it's public record that you do own this house, but that you do have a loan against it and who it's with. Some of the basic terms of the loan are in there, but not your actual detailed terms of the loan. It more has the rules on what will happen if you don't make the payments, and how much they're owed at the beginning, and who is actually loaning the money, what property it's being loaned against, and what some of the rules are. So it's pretty standard. There's a copy of it generic copy on our website, www.foottetitlegroup.com. If you go to our website and you go to the buyers page, the realtors and lenders page, there under the resources, there's an area called sample docs. And if you look at that, that gives you a copy of most of the sample documents that you're going to be looking at your closing, so you can review some of this stuff. And one of them is the deed of trust, and you can look at that and review that document just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Now, not all of them are the same. Some of the information about the loan is going to be different. Some of the types of deed of trust, depending on the type of loan you get, are going to vary a little bit. But the boilerplate of it, most of it is the same. And so that will give you a really good idea, basically, of how that document looks and what you're going to be asked to sign at closing. So that's my tip for the day, to give you a little bit of information to hope to help you understand some terms that you may come across during the closing process. Hey there, Kathy. How are you this morning? Thanks for tuning in. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in, and I appreciate you checking in. But the most important thing is, if you would please share the video if you found what we talked about interesting. It would help me a lot, because there's a lot of people you know that I don't, that probably could use this information as well. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy, work hard, play hard, and I'll talk to you again really soon. Thank you for tuning in for Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.